Zach, super excited about this week's episode.
Really? What's so exciting?
We get to talk about Drive.
Yeah, I was a little confused when I watched it, but it's definitely.
I've been talking about this movie forever.
I mean, it's one of your favorite films, I think, of all time, right?
Yeah, dude, like top probably 5, I think, not including Star Wars, because that's obviously.
I was about to say that's some high praise, man.
I can't include Star Wars in like a top tier movies because they just take the cake. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, some of them do.
I mean, I love all 3, the originals. You know.
Yeah, but I well, then there's the other ones.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us as we can collecting.
That's right. And we'd like to take a second to thank our sponsor, Sean Fear, in the chat. Watto Scrapyard.
What a guy.
I know.
Dean, we have a really short show sheet tonight. We're going to talk about some movies to fill in the back half of the show. But before we get into any of the news and the movie stuff, we have a very special segment that we always kick the show off with.
Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
That's so good.
So good live, dude.
I can't get over it. Yeah, it's
so
fantastic.
Good. What'd you get?
What'd you get new this week? This finally came in. I'm so excited. The 1/6 BBK Drive figure, Ryan Gosling.
Nice.
Fantastic. It's really good. I just need to do a body swap.
Yeah.
I sent you pictures. It's horrid.
The body it comes with.
Yeah, it's really bad. But I tried his shoes and his wrists and his head on a generic body and it fits. So I just need to order a generic body and swap it out.
Did you know that you can get generic bodies and generic bases on Amazon now?
Really?
And they're like next day delivery or 2-day delivery.
Really?
And they're about the same price as going on eBay.
Really?
I highly recommend you look into that, dude.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I mean, they seem to be like the one that I got. Not to interrupt you new this week, but it seems to be like just the ones that we would buy. Like, you know, I mean, it's not the greatest thing ever, but
yeah,
I'm gonna try body swap this week as well.
Yeah, and then this is new this week for me. It's not a toy or a figure. It's LaCroix. No, Limoncello.
Oh wow.
This shit is so good, dude.
I think I said Lyman.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't think there's any lime in it, but dude, it's so good. And I hate LaCroix. This shit's awful, but this flavor in particular, holy shit, it's amazing. It's really good. If you see it at your grocery store, I recommend trying it. Or actually, you know what? Don't. That way there's more for me.
Wow.
It's really good. Try not to drink soda as much, so.
That's right, boy. We have a ton of people in the chat. We have Toy Mafia, Eddie, Danny, Zach, Jason, Sean, Yahtzee, Mario, Sean Fear, Eric, Manny, Stephen Kret, Rainer, and our boy Eric. Was that all you got, Dean?
I believe it is.
I had a pretty good week, man. I was doing some wheeling and dealing with some Ox members. Sold my Kylo. Which was a figure that I had a ton of store credit at Steven's Collectibles, and then he honored some discounts Sideshow had. And I basically, almost like tripled the amount of actual real money that I spent on it. And I was able to parlay that into some things which are coming next week. I don't want to talk about them this week. Eric said that he wanted to know what body swap I was doing, so he'll have to wait till next episode. And I'm hoping to film it as part of Joy of Hopping, because I feel like I do a lot of body swaps, but I've never really sat down and filmed one.
Yeah.
And maybe it'd be cool one day if you can come to my house and we can body swaps and record, and that way you can hold the camera when I'm body swapping my figure, and then vice versa. We can chit chat. Maybe could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got that. I also, like I said, I was dealing with some Ox members. Lavelle Hicks, Sweet Gare Bear, sent me a Amazing Spider-Man 2, and man, I'll be honest, I've wanted that figure for years, and incredibly disappointed by the figure. It looks fantastic, right? But just handling it is a whole different story. None of the hands, like, because they're those weird half hands with the magnets and the pegs.
Yeah.
None of them seem to line up like very positively where they fit well. None of the joints feel particularly like firm, but then also the boots keep coming off, and I put joint joint tightener, and that fixed it. But for like the first hour, I was really frustrated. And so, really not too happy with that, but I got a great price, and I knew about the condition before I got it. And so, Gare's just a wonderful guy to do any business with. I highly recommend it.
That's so crazy to me because that figure's so good.
It looks fantastic, right? But just, I don't know. Maybe I have to heat up the hands and kind of like form them to fit the post, but it's kind of weird. Stephen Krett did get a bidet, by the way. One of our Ox members that went out and got a bidet. And Dean, we're doing a bidet giveaway, which you didn't post about it. That was your one job this week.
I was supposed to post about it?
Yeah, I told you were in charge of the giveaway this week, and you said okay.
I don't remember that at all.
I got this thing. I don't even know what it is, right? It's Mark III Iron Man.
Okay, you like that one.
Has some Disney on the back, which is probably a fake sticker, but the production value, look at this. You can open it up, and then there's, the figure inside. I think it's 1/9 scale. The post said it was comparable to Figure Arts, but it's way bigger. It's definitely like maybe a few scales larger, and it's fantastic. I love the Mark III, but I always kind of cringe about posing the Hot Toys one, because it is Hot Toys. It is an expensive figure, and I just don't like to pose it that often. But this is really nice. I'm actually super happy with this. I got it at Ageless Geeks, and I guess it's just some like Chinese. I almost think it might be like a replica knockoff of the King Arts 1/9 scale Iron Man figure, or that's Bring Art. That's Final Fantasy. I don't know. There's some 1/9 scale Iron Man figures that are out there, and I think
they sell them at Borders.
Yeah. So I think this might be a knockoff of those, but the paint is fantastic. I mean, it looks as good as the Hot Toys Iron Man, and I almost want to do some battle damage to it to make it look a little bit better. But that's pretty much it this week. Like I said, I have some cool stuff coming in the next few.
What's that? It is called King Arts.
Okay, I was like, I was pretty sure, but there's no King Arts branding on this box, and the price was really cheap. So Sean says it might be a thing called Comic Cave. I think you're right, Sean.
That's the one they sell at Borders, Comic Cave.
Oh, really? So this might be a legit thing then. I need to look that up. Kev says I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have joined. LOL. What's up, all? Dude, Kev Matrix, literally the absolute angel.
Yeah,
right, ladies and gentlemen, the absolute angel. Dean, I don't think you gave him enough of a shout out.
No, well, I was gonna wait till you said that you got yours.
Oh, well, that'll be next week. Yeah, so you go ahead, Dean.
Oh, that's right. You haven't got it in the mail yet.
No, I just shipped it today.
Okay, yeah. So on the last show, Zach was like, "Hey, put out a bad signal for the figure you're looking for." I was like, "Oh." Okay,
you doubted him. You literally scoffed. You went.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
idiot.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Dude, this was hilarious. Anyway, and I was like, hey guys, I'm looking for this figure, this 1/6 scale drive figure. And Kev answered the bat signal and he was like, dude, I have one. And I was like, Kev, hit me up. I'll send you my email. And he emailed me the next day, and within like, I don't know, 3 hours, he was like, okay, I'll ship it out. It's amazing. And apparently he helped you out too.
He helped me out too, man. Gave me a deal of the century for a figure that I've been after for probably, and obviously I haven't been actively looking for it for 4 years, but it's been something I've wanted from the moment that I saw the figure come out until last week when we talked with Optical 20 on his channel, and he had mentioned he got the 2.0. So I got the Mag Tent 1.0, which is Magneto from Days of Future Past.
Nice.
And I am super excited to check it out. But Dean, let's get into the news now. Sideshow did show their final production photos of the child life-size figure. Please note this is their statue. It's not actually a figure, so I don't know why they keep calling it that. But the first picture here I think looks pretty good. You know, I don't see anything immediately wrong with it. But this photo here really broke the internet. The groups were going absolutely wild with this, Dean. What are your thoughts on this photo here?
Almost nothing positive. I don't know if I have anything positive to say. Even the box looks fucking stupid. like it's just I don't know, man. It's not good. He looks sick.
Yeah.
He looks like he looks gaunt. Just like he hasn't eaten not enough bone broth for this little guy.
And I will say that, you know, the first and the second photo that we showed, they were shown in the same email, right? So I tend to want to believe that they're of the same figure, or at minimum like from the same point in the production, right? But they just look so different, right? And it really freaked a lot of people out. I've seen a lot of people have canceled. I've seen a lot of people that have begged for more photos from Sideshow, and even we were criticized, Dean, for giving our thoughts on this. But the thing is, that's what we do. You and I are here every week. We spend hours of our own free time, our own personal time, to put this show together every week so that people can hear our thoughts, you know, whether we're right or wrong. And, you know, we were talking about it on the groups, and some people did not appreciate that.
And
I think people are very proud that they ordered this.
Yeah, they want to convince themselves that they're not
when
wrong.
they're confronted with some information that maybe this might not be what they expected it to be. They
get angry.
They get angry. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's like the 6 stages of grief.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, fuck you. No. But it's like, hey, look, man, everyone's entitled to their own wrong opinion. Like,
yeah. And I
don't
know
have to agree with you. I know what I think. I think it looks bad. And again, I don't think the Hot Toys one looks great either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's not like I'm like trashing this and like, oh, look at the Hot Toys one, so good. No, they're both bad.
Yeah.
I think the prototype of this figure was probably the best one.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, they like shrunk the eyes, like like pushed the face in. I don't know, like it's just like it. Those are. I don't know how people are looking at this and saying it's the same thing. It's not. You're fucking wrong. You're trying to convince yourself. The clothes look terrible. Not only bad, but also like you could just tear them. Like they look like they're made of like fabric softener sheets.
Yeah.
Like it's just not good.
Kev makes a good point. He says he thinks it's not futzed very well in this photo here.
I mean,
I tend to agree. I tend to agree 100%. It almost seems to be missing that second layer here on the neck.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there's some things that can be explained away with futzing. I think there's some things that very clearly look different. Case in point, the size of the eyes, the roundness of the nose, The frown looks similar, but the chin looks quite different. If this is a figure that depends that much on precise lighting and that much on a precise angle of view, I feel like a lot of people are going to be disappointed. Some people that have bestas, which are quite high, or even something like this here in the back, which is, it's about waist level for me. I think that if they're expecting to view it from this perfect angle, it's going to really disappoint a lot of people. Sean Yahtzee says the eyes are completely different. Louis and DJ joining us as well. Mario says that baby hit the wall hard, and Sean Yahtzee says the side-by-side is very apparent. So again, we're not here to shit on something that you may have bought for the fun of it. Like, at the end of the day, I think, Dean, you and I want everyone to get the figures that they want in the quality that they expect. But unfortunately, when that doesn't happen,
that's the thing. It's
appear to happen.
It's like, guys, we're on your side. The fact that you're telling us that we're wrong, you're only shooting yourself in the foot, because we've said it 100 times on the show. If you don't tell them they're doing something wrong, they're gonna keep thinking they could shit on you. It's like, oh yeah, our Baby Yoda release wasn't really the best, but those fucking sheep bought it.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, at the end of the day, I think, you and I both want people to open their box and see the figure on the left, or the statue on the left, right?
Yeah.
But we are giving our thoughts. That's what we do every week. And at the end of the day, I was disappointed because, people said that I had photoshopped the right photo to be different. People had claimed that it was a bad edit. People claimed it was a low quality photo. But we had literally screenshotted and saved it directly from the email.
Yeah, it's like, they're like, that's a really terrible photo. Why would you? It's like, they shared it. They sent it to me.
Yeah, why would you send it, right?
It's just,
don't shoot the messenger, guys.
Yeah, they think you're attacking them on a personal level. It's like, no, I'm trying to help you by showing you that you got bamboozled.
You got bamboozled. Dean, in the words of the greatest meme of all time, not like this. Not like this.
Yeah.
Eddie says the old Danny would have cared. Danny says, I don't care if it ends up looking good. I just don't want to have a 1-to-1 scale anymore. TC Sweet Angel says classic Sideshow. Over promise, under deliver. Strong words there from one of the greatest podcasters.
Yeah, like I mean, I think we're a little more negative on the show than our friends over at Six Girl Scavengers.
I don't know how we do it.
But even they are just like,
I mean, that really says something if TC is coming at this pretty good. I'm not. Now, I will say I will come at Hot Toys personally. Fuck you guys for making this figure. I don't understand why Venomized blank is so hot. Like, Funko did the Venomized Funko Pops. Marvel Legends is doing Venomized Marvel Legends. Now, Hot Toys are doing Venomized characters. When we saw the breaking news on the last show, I honestly truly read that as they were going to make Venom, which is something I think a lot of people wanted from the Solo film. But it seems like what we've gotten thus far is Venomized Deadpool and now Venomized Groot. I know we have that weird vinyl Venom artist thing that Hot Toys did, but this just does not look good. There's no price on it yet. It's only in the coming soon section of Sideshow where you can see like all the other pre-announced things. I have nothing good to say about this, Dean. What are you thinking?
I don't get it. It's like Venomized Groot. Why is it Baby Groot? Also, I don't know. Like, I don't get it.
DJ says, yes, fuck Hot Toys for this. Catch up to your pre-orders before you release shit no one wants or asked for. Trash. Louis says trash. No one can defend this. Danny says Venomized bidet. I think that's what the world really wants.
Dude,
and Eddie says Venomized. Did you order your bidet? First off,
like, hey, wait a minute. That's not water cleaning me. What is that? This is Venom's tongue.
Are you okay? You've been coughing this whole show, Dean. I'm worried about you.
I wasn't coughing. I was clearing my throat.
Oh, well, you could maybe mute your mic if you cough.
Or I just, do whatever the fuck I want.
I was just worried about you, okay? Because the corona is out there, Dean. I don't want to have Venomized Dean on the next show, okay?
You will.
Corona is Dean. Tormund Giant Spain has gone up for pre-order, coming in at $180, releasing Q2 2021. This is Tormund from season 7 of Game of Thrones. Dean, I think you said this was an instant pre-order. Have you pre-ordered yet?
I'm gonna pre-order through Rick. I need to email him because
that's a good guy to pre-order from, man.
Yeah, because it's like, why am I gonna order from Big Bad Toy Store when I got Rick down the street?
That is true. Sean
How
Yancey
about
says
a local a business,
That's right, my guy. Sean says, I really hope they don't hang the chances of other Venom figures on the success of this Venomized Groot. Louis says they probably have lots of leftover life-size Groots.
Dude, I just don't get it. Like,
Mario says they need to Venomize Venom.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dude, honestly, it just like, maybe if there was like a comic that came out, or like at least like the what was it, the Punisher War Machine, at least that was from a game, right? Maybe not a game people played or whatever. I don't really know anything about that game, but at least it was from a thing. This Venomized Groot is literally just like, what even is this? Like, why are we getting this? I don't get it. Like, it doesn't fit in anywhere. I guess if you're a huge Venom fan, I don't know. Like,
I don't like it. I don't understand it.
What's the logo up there?
I don't understand Spider-Man Maximum Venom.
See, I don't even know what that is. Is that
like
a comic?
Maximum Lame?
Maximum waste of time and effort.
Oh boy, that's fantastic. NECA did put out a statement. They're canceling the Chief Martin Brody clothed action figure.
Wow.
And it's going to be canceled from NECA. The
Is that
Sam
'cause of
Quint,
the actor?
they didn't really specify. Basically, all we know is the only Jaws figure is going to be Sam Quint. But that's the second actor, because the scientist did not sign off to be created. Initially, it was going to be Brody and the fisherman, Quint.
Okay.
And so now that leaves the Jaws line basically hanging on by a thread. They have one of the 3 main characters. They've said that they're going to make the shark. Whether or not they're actually going to do it, I don't know.
I think at this point they have to. You can't just
one I think you could salvage the line by doing a Quint and Bruce, right? Like I feel like that would be not an ideal shelf, but I think you can make a shelf out of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, of course, like you want the 3 main characters and Bruce, but I just feel like you have to. I mean, Eric says here Chief Brody is the main character. I mean, of course. I mean, this is a huge loss for this line.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Now these are closed figures. Were they going to make the regular ones? Because I know they usually do both.
From what I've seen, this is probably a Dylan question, but from what I've seen, the only Jaws that is currently in production is the 8-inch clothed line.
Oh, okay.
But weird, just wanted to share.
I know a lot of people were excited about this line.
Oh, dude, I was thrilled. I was like literally thrilled. But that is, I guess that's just 2020 in a nutshell, right there, my guy.
Yeah.
There was an update for the Spawn Kickstarter. I believe you said it was update 30. Dean, tell us about it.
Yeah, so I got this update from Todd himself on Kickstarter. This is what the figure looks like all put together with the cape on. A lot of people were asking, like, what the hell's the cape going to look like? Because the last update we got, which I believe was last week, it was just the cape.
Mm-hmm.
And the hinges are kind of weird. It's like, can you really wrap him up in the cape? So this is what the cape's going to look like on the actual figure.
I think it looks clean.
Pretty excited, man. Again, a little weird. There's no ab articulation, but I mean, it is what it is.
I think the chain stuff looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, it's really hard to get chain in that scale, because even in
I wouldn't say it's that hard.
The Mortal Kombat one it's sculpted.
Yeah.
So to have real chain again is pretty cool, because I have
some of the older statues used to have.
Yeah, I collected almost all of them, and the chains were either too small and they would break, or they were too big and you couldn't really like fit them anywhere. So it'll be interesting. They look a little big to me, but at least
they
they're not
look
gonna
a
snap.
smidgen big, like maybe one scale too big.
Yeah,
they look like 1/11th scale or something like that.
Yeah, and it's subject to change, so I'm not really all that butthurt. But it's weird because, like on the Mortal Kombat one, if you look at it, like the thigh pouches are switched, and then the ankle armor is switched. And
maybe he took it selfie mode and reversed it.
And that's true. But the wrist armor is the same. It's on the same arm. So I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if it's just like inconsistencies with the character. It depends on how he wants to draw it, or what version of the armor it is. I don't know, because he goes through several different changes. But
Jason says he heard that it was going to be a rubber torso, like many of the Fortnite flexible torsos.
Okay. See, I've never collected those lines, so
that
I just thought it was interesting. Again, going back to the Mortal Kombat spawn, he has ab articulation and waist articulation. You can't see because of the chains, but it's like it almost seems like a step backwards because this figure is so well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean there's an update. That was cool. Again, it's really nice to see updates from the actual man himself.
Ask him if he'll come on the show.
Yeah.
The Sith Jet Trooper and the Jet Trooper did release in Hong Kong. Dean, you were saying that the Jet Trooper could be a pickup for you.
Yeah, dude, that's like my go-to in Battlefront when I play Battlefront.
Is there a reason why?
He's the only character in any trilogy. So you have your prequels, original, and sequel trilogy. He's the only jetpacked character, maybe with the exception of Boba Fett, but who could stay in the air. He could sustain flight. And he has a secondary gun that's basically just a grenade launcher. So when me and my friends are playing the games, I'll fly above them and just like orbital drop grenades and blow people up. It's just like my favorite character to play. So yeah, I might pick one up. I don't know about picking it up at retail. But maybe like it goes on sale at Sideshow or something, or somebody gets one, they decide they don't want it. But yeah, I kind of want one.
I will say that I've never been less excited for 2 releases. I mean, I guess I heard that the stock for these in Hong Kong, there was not a lot ordered. So I definitely think if this is a figure that anyone is seriously, either of these that anyone is seriously considering, definitely don't wait, because I think it's going to be like the Patrol Trooper, where there's such a small quantity and they sell out and they sell pretty fast. So I would, if you're on the fence about this Jet Trooper or the Sith Jet Trooper, I would definitely not wait. Dean, let's talk movers and shakers. There was a really amazing post by Jesse Lowe on several different groups this week. And so he says this is an example of how scalpers destroyed the Marvel market in Hong Kong and why Marvel figures from Asia are way cheaper now. Some releasing are even below retail. When Infinity War was released, people ordered the Infinity War figures, but not everybody. After Infinity War released, there were tons of newcomers wanting to buy the Hot Toys, especially Marvel, and prices drove up like crazy. Mark 50, Thor, Thanos, Black Panther, Iron Spider were all at least $50 above retail, and Mark 50 and Thor were even 100 plus over retail. That's if you're buying it secondhand.
Yeah.
Hot Toys decided to reissue Mark 50 and Thor in order to prevent scalping, and during that time before they did, scalpers earned quite a bit of money from it. When the Endgame movie was released, scalpers expected the same thing to happen, so they invested a lot of money into ordering these figures, hoping to make a fortune. Scalpers in Hong Kong hired professionals to line up and order in secret base, since only one person can order one figure of each character. Hundreds and hundreds of people ordering in secret base every day, whether it's in-game Thanos, in-game Cap, or Mark 85. It was crazy. People lining up for hours after hours, day after day. Fast forward to this year, the pandemic hits. Lots of people were selling their pre-order slips starting in January. People losing jobs. They need food, not Hot Toys. Now the stocks are flooding the market. Every day, someone is selling their Mark 85, Cap, Thanos, and the in-game battle damage Thanos was announced. The scalpers who ordered like 10 Thanos, like this guy, can't sell this to anybody because the battle damage one looks better. The price is starting to drop fast, and once Thanos' price drops, everything else dropped. Rocket can be bought now for less than $100 brand new, even though it's a Comic-Con exclusive. People are willing to lose $20 to $30 just to sell Black Widow. Hawkeye stand his ground. All Far From Home Spider-Man figures lose at least $30 to $40, and no one wants the quarter scale Homecoming Spider-Man at all. Even Mark 85 and Mark 85 Battle Damage, people are selling their pre-order slip at retail. Back then, if you have the die cast, it would go for at minimum $30 more. To sum it up, scalpers and COVID messed the Marvel market up in Hong Kong. People can't get rid of them. Expect lowering prices and good deals for Marvel pieces from Asia. And I think, Dean, you experienced this recently with the Rocket, right? It was
with
cheap.
the buyer they've mentioned right here.
When 10 Cent's homemade suit is selling at $242 compared to Sideshow's $267, the market is wrecked. Scalpers not only lose the money investing in these, but also lost money hiring the professionals to line up at Secret Base.
Yeah, so I sold my Rocket to bankroll the Endgame Rocket. And I was like, oh, if I sell it for $100, I'll only have to come up with like 150.
Yeah.
And then Rocket's price on eBay was just like plummeting. And I was like, that's so weird. And now it makes perfect sense. I ended up getting Rocket from 10 Cent for $167 shipped.
And that's international shipping with taxes and everything else.
Yeah. Because Eric had bought one from him the week before at $180. And even then I was like, shit, maybe I should get one now. Because now I only have to come up with $80. And then it kind of just like slipped my mind. And then Eric was like, dude, look at this shit. And I was like, I'm buying it. So that's in the mail. That was also new this week, but obviously it's shipped, so I don't have it yet.
New next week.
Yeah. Who knows? It could get here that early, but
Zach from King Zachary Venable says it's a very good look at it, but there's a few more deeper problems. Secret Base sells its figures for about 25% cheaper per figure, so the scalpers are buying them for cheaper than what Sideshow sells them for. Sideshow's price isn't MSRP. Yeah, we've talked about that a few times.
Yeah, they fucking tax the shit out of their figures.
Yeah. But yeah, so Dean, it's a good thing that you got that deal. Because what did you say the price with tax and shipping was at Sideshow for Rocket?
It was over $250.
Yeah, if anyone's looking for any Marvel figures, definitely check out the Hong Kong sellers. 10 Cent's obviously a pretty good one. You can definitely get some good deals. I think people were even saying that right now, because the Jet Trooper and the Sith Trooper are so new, you can actually pick up the homemade suit Spider-Man with the Vulture droid thing cheaper than either of the Jet or Sith Trooper, which is pretty remarkable. That's crazy, man.
And it's a good time to buy Marvel stuff because it's not hot anymore.
Yeah.
So the fact that you could get them for even cheaper is kind of wild.
Last bit of toy news for the show. Dean, you were telling me about this premium DNA action figure company. They're bringing together top talent in design and production to create collectibles that are truly works of art. It's a little pretentious there. But they said we start with highly detailed sculptures by the best artists in the industry, then integrate high-level articulation. We bring figures to life with extraordinary paint applications that highlight every nuance. They're made to order in top-of-the-line factories using only the... Honestly, I did not read this before when I put this on the show sheet, but this sounds super douchey.
Yeah, I'm
not even going to read the rest of it, but
they're coming into the game. They want to seem, like they know what they're doing.
So they're coming out with Battletoads.
These are all
Earthworm Jim and
awesome
Clayfighter
lines, dude. Like Battletoads, Earthworm Jim, Clayfighters. I played all those games on the Sega Genesis. These are like hardcore nostalgic lines that no one makes figures of.
Yeah.
The creator of Earthworm Jim just recently was able to buy back Earthworm Jim from, I forgot who owned it, because when you're a nobody that creates a character and you want to make it popular, you usually sell it.
Fun fact, Walt Disney had created this character called Oswald the Rabbit as his character, his thing that was going to become world famous. And the company that he was working for wouldn't sell him the rights to that character. And so he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna make a new character called Mickey Mouse."
There you go.
We all know how that went. So
yeah, no one knows who
Earthworm
the
Tim.
fuck Oswald is.
I know who Oswald is, but Dean, you should do me a favor. Hit up this company and see if they want to interview. I think it'd be cool.
I mean, you just
tell them not to listen to the.
I was about to say you just talk mad shit.
Well, look, here's the thing, though, right? You and I have been in this hobby long enough to see a new company come in and set this bar.
I mean, last time we saw somebody talk this highly of themselves, it was
the eighth molecule. 8. Yeah,
fuck those people. But I will say, I'm really excited to see how this turns out. Again, Earthworm Jim is fucking cool. I want a cool Earthworm Jim figure, so if this is a new chance to get it, I'm all for it. Also, Clay Fighters, holy shit. Me and my sister used to play that all the time, dude.
I don't think I've ever played that.
It was just a fighting game with like different. It was, you know how Mortal Kombat was real people, but like, obviously it's animated in game.
Okay.
It was like that, but they had clay models that they animated and then they put into the game.
That sounds horrifying. Eric agrees with you, though. Clay Fighters is amazing when he
says. Dude, it really was. It was so cool. So, I mean, I'm super excited to see how this turns out, but I've never heard of them before. This popped up randomly. I don't even remember where I saw it, but I was like, hey, that sounds cool. So we'll keep you guys updated on this.
Secure the interview, Dean. Secure the interview. It's that time of the show, Dean.
I was like, oh yeah,
I don't know stuff. I don't know like if I should wait. I don't know if I should prompt you. I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta figure this out, man.
Yeah, you gotta play.
I mean, I'm doing all this work. I'm washing and drying the dishes, my guy.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, we want to take a second to thank our friends over at Water Scrapyard.
You didn't do the voice. You didn't do the voice.
Okay. I haven't done it all every time.
Well, I was really hoping for it.
Maybe I'll do it later. You're interrupting my sponsor tag.
Okay, all right.
You can find them on eBay, Instagram, and Facebook at Water Scrapyard. They have hundreds and hundreds of head sculpts from all different characters from Star Wars and the Star Wars universe and other universes if you're interested. If you do not see a character you like on their Instagram, you can find them at Water Scrapyard and get it done for a reasonable price. I recently did one. It's fantastic.
It actually really is fantastic.
Dude, it's like night and day. Like, if you see, I'll post pictures later, but if you see the head sculpt I got compared to the original one, you're just like, who's that even supposed to be? Like,
yeah.
Once you see like an actual good head sculpt, you're just like, holy shit, that original one is garbage.
Dean, do me a favor right now. Put up a post on Ox. And first off, Danny Lee says I tune in live to hear the Watto voice. Put up a post on Ox for me, Dean, because I mean, I told you last week and it never got done, and I think you've been offended in the past when I remind you to do things, and so I didn't. I chose not to.
I don't know.
Put up a post for episode 125 bidet giveaway, please. We'll do the drawing next show. Okay, please do that for me. All right. If no one wins the bidet, it's because Dean didn't do his job. If you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, check out Dragon Amnesty, the new composition by Bruce Faulconer. He's got 80 backers now, and there's I believe it's 9 days left to go. So hopefully we can get this project funded. It's a really neat venture that he's doing for the fans, and he gave us a really fantastic interview. So we want to hopefully help plug this Dragon Amnesty production to get it funded, and so we can get some new Bruce Faulconer DBZ music.
Hell yeah.
Dean, Entertainment Weekly, which first off, I'm not okay with that name, but okay. Entertainment Weekly did put out some new photos.
They've been out forever. But...
Well, you know, there's a new cat in town, Dean. The Mandalorian season 2 photos, and by golly, this is what a Baby Yoda should look like. Not this horrifying thing that we saw earlier in the show. Cara Dune back and beautiful, frankly. Just really excited that her character's back. Grief Karga.
He got older.
He does look a little older. I noticed that as well. And you mentioned the child in some of the shots that we've seen looks a little taller. So perhaps there's been some time skips. There also is a photo of the Mandalorian on the speeder bike, and of course,
this jetpack,
Baby Yoda. Look at that, Baby Yoda tucked in right there on the side. Not very safe, but okay.
No.
You know, I don't know if I trust that, but
he got his knee pad back.
Got his knee pad back, and there's already people calling for Yost to make the speeder bike, which bit ambitious.
God, leave him alone.
More pictures here of Jin, Kara, and Grief looking very very cool there.
Is her outfit different? I can't tell.
I felt like the gauntlets look different, but I could totally be wrong. I'll be totally honest. I didn't look that much into her outfit during the show. I was mostly focused on our boy Jin here. The Mando and the child here posted up, and yeah, I mean, I think that I think these look fantastic. Do you have anything you want to add?
I'm super stoked. I can't freaking wait. Yeah, October 30th can't come fast enough. But yeah, so like technically this armor is different, so Hato's gonna make a third one. Like the thigh's different. Again, the knee's back.
Eric puts out a good point here. He says, is it me or does the Mando have a side flap armor? I noticed that as well.
He always has.
Has he really? I have to go back and look. Hey, he does have one.
Yeah, on both sides.
Danny Lee says, if we don't get this giveaway up, we'll all have dirty BHs. So if you want that on your conscience, Dean, I'm just saying. Our movie of the week was Drive. Drive is a 2019 film. A notorious thief allies with a street racer for a grand heist involving an elaborate game of deceit with authorities who have their own dirty secrets, starring Jacqueline Fernandez, Sushant Singh Rajput, and Boman Irani, directed by Tarun Mansakiani. A great film. I was a little confused. I didn't once. The whole time I was waiting for Ryan Gosling to show up.
I was like 2019. That movie's old.
Did I watch the wrong movie?
Oh shit!
Did I watch the wrong film?
That's definitely not it, Chief.
Oh boy. No, I'm just kidding. Drive. Drive is a 2011 American action drama film based on James Salas' 2005 novel Drive. The film stars Ryan Gosling as an unnamed Hollywood stunt driver who moonlights as a getaway driver. He quickly grows fond of his neighbor Irene and her young son Benicio. When her debt-ridden husband Standard is released from prison, the two men take part in what turns out to be a botched $1 million heist that endangers the lives of everyone involved. I will let you tell me about this film first, because it is one of your favorite films.
This movie is fucking flawless, dude. Well, not flawless. I do have my complaints, but it's just like.
Actually, Sean says his name is Baby, so I mean, from the source.
No, he doesn't have a name. Yeah, like the music. A lot of times, yeah, dude. A lot of times, the music is what sets the tone. You know, this movie gives me strong Blade Runner vibes, the original.
Where I was going to say that as well.
A lot
it's
of
a very awkward film.
Nothing is being said. All the acting is on the faces of the actors. It's just the tone, the feeling, the like. Oh, it's such a good movie, dude. Honestly, I think the soundtrack really helps this movie. Because it is, like you said, it's a little awkward, like what's happening sometimes.
Yeah.
But holy shit, dude, I love this movie.
Mario says I should watch Drive again. Was a snooze fest my first watch. Now I will say this. So this is the first time I've seen both Drives. I may or may not have watched the first one on accident, thanks to Alexa. But well, you know, when you tell it to put Drive on, it just finds the latest one. We'll talk about that later, though. So I will say this: I feel like this was a very good film. I feel like there were some things that were added that, at least from my first watch, didn't really have any payoff. I think the fact that he's a stunt driver never really added almost anything to the story. I guess maybe at the end when he had the mask.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's plenty of people that are good drivers that aren't stuntman. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
The next thing is, for a movie called Drive, there was only really like 2 really cool driving scenes. I mean, there's lots of scenes where he's driving, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think as far as action scenes go, there's only 2 that I guess maybe like 2.5, I guess, if you count the last one at the end.
Yeah, the chase scene is so short, dude. It's like 3 minutes.
The first one or the second one?
The second one. The opening scine is one of the best opening sequences.
Oh, it's fantastic.
In any movie ever.
It's
so fucking good.
I really enjoyed it. I think, like you said, the music was really good. I definitely got Blade Runner vibes. I wasn't sure at the beginning of this film what era it was set in because of the pink letters and everything. I was thinking it was in like an 80s film, but then of course, like, you see the modern cars and then you realize it's not.
Yeah, it's like
I did like it. I really did like it. I feel like Oscar Isaac, I was kind of annoyed that he was in the movie when I first saw him. I think his character was much better and his arc was much more different than I thought. I think Ryan plays a really good character. I feel like he really excels at playing nameless protagonists. In this film, he's the driver. I guess in Blade Runner, he's not nameless, but he's sort of like someone that's not that important to the greater scheme of things. Like, he's just one of many. He's not like the chosen one in any of these movies. He's just like a pawn in a bigger scheme.
Yeah.
I really truly enjoyed this film. Alfred's in the chat. I was really bummed. Alfred said he was join us for the show tonight. And then,
dude, happy birthday, man. I'm sorry.
Happy birthday, Alfred. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. And the one thing that bothered me, I don't think this is a big spoiler, Dean, maybe you can tell me if I missed something, but it seemed like they spent a chunk of the film talking about him racing professionally, and then it like never had any payoff.
Yeah, so
I didn't really understand that. Like, and you see the car at the end, like towards the end of the film in the garage. But it just seemed like you could have cut like 15 minutes out of the film, maybe 10 minutes out of the film.
Well, I think that's what was setting up. So he's a stuntman, right?
Yeah.
And that's how he knows
how to drive.
Walter White, what's his name? Bryan Cranston.
Yeah.
And Bryan Cranston is like, hey, this guy's really talented. Obviously, they're criminals.
Yeah.
But they also have, like, you know, their own side hustles. He's like, hey, this driver of mine that, you know, does robberies for me is really good at driving. So we could even start racing cars. And that's how he meets like the main bad guy of the movie. Because that guy's the one that's going to bankroll them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Like, if you guys can win, I'll pay for it. But then when all the shit hits the fan, the main bad guy tells Bryan Cranston, like, it's just bad luck. Like, all this shit could have been different. Like, we could have been racing cars, but your driver had to pick the one fucking heist that fucked everyone.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
like,
I remember that scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, that's what could have been. But, you know, it's bad luck. They chose to rob the wrong fucking people. But dude,
I really like this film.
The cast is really good. You have like I said, Bryan Cranston, what's his name? He plays Hellboy. Ron Perlman, Ryan Gosling, obviously. The main chick in this movie is such a cutie.
Yeah, she really is.
I think she's the only other thing I've seen her in is The Great Gatsby. I don't know what else she's been in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love this movie, dude. And like, once he starts going off, dude, when like after what's this after
don't say it, don't say it.
After a certain thing happens during the heist, this motherfucker goes off, dude, in the elevator scene. Oh, dude, because he knows there's a scene in the elevator where there's like a hitman, and he's trying to protect the girl. He knows, like, this is a point of no return. Like, I'm probably never gonna see this girl again. And so he kisses her, and like the whole mood changes in the elevator, right? Like the lights dim. It's for the audience, really. It doesn't really happen, but the music swells, the lights dim. It's very romantic. And then like immediately turns around and just curb stomps this dude. And
Literally.
it's so fucking cool. And then sure enough, like the elevator opens and the girl backs out and she's just staring at Ryan Gosling's character because, you know, he's like a murderer, he's a criminal, and she's just like, holy shit, like this guy's dangerous. And like he knows it, so he doesn't like go after her, and the doors close.
Yeah.
But after that scene, dude, he's a fucking beast, man. This movie's so fucking cool, dude.
I quite enjoyed it. Kev says he follows the same rules Jason Statham used to in his getaway driving rules for the Transporter. I enjoyed it, man. There's 2 third-party figures that are available. There's obviously, I think there's an actual really nice custom set of clothing, but I mean, those are impossible to find. You have the BBK004, which is the one that you got from Kevin, and then the Redman Toys Drive figure. I think between the two, I think you said the BBK is a better tailoring.
Yeah, the tailoring is much nicer.
And I think that's the more important part. You said the Redman comes with more accessories, but I think for a figure like this, tailoring is probably more important than
the BBK
accessories he only uses for one scene.
Yeah, the BBK only uses 2 hands. You get a hammer holding hand and then a loose gripped hand. They're both gloved.
Yeah,
but that's it. The Redman gives you a lot more. They even comes with the duffel bag full of money, which was cool. I'll probably order the Redman jacket just to see which one is better. I think it's the body that's the problem, though. I'm super stoked to finally have this figure in my collection.
I honestly can't believe that you have it. Like, just seeing behind the scenes how hard you tried to get it for so long.
Yeah, and it's not even the first time I've brought this figure up to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's been years ago that we've been trying to buy this.
Yeah, because it's like, well, the head sculpt's like, I don't know, but actually the BBK head sculpt's growing on me. Like from this,
no, I'm sorry.
I like it. I don't know if I'm going to use the because the Agent K he's got a lot of facial hair, and Ryan Gosling's just too clean shaven in this movie.
I don't know, man. Whatever you do, I would not. I don't know. Yeah, you do what you want, man. But
maybe I'll get Water to do a Ryan for me.
Be dope. Dean, I saw the movie Tenet last night, and it was bananas. It was literally bananas. I'm hoping that we can get some people on Ox that have also seen it, so that we can do a spoiler discussion. This will be spoiler free, but I really enjoyed it. There's it's a very cerebral film. Like, you know, if you liked Interstellar, if you liked Inception, I think that you'll really enjoy Tenet. It's one of those films that I think you'll have to watch several times to really take it all in. I spent about 3 hours watching like different theories on YouTube today. I mean, it's a really, really good film. Seen some comments about the sound mixing that I can kind of agree with. Sometimes the voices kind of get lost in the music, but I really enjoyed this. And I know, unfortunately, right now, I think they're only doing it in theaters. They're not streaming this movie on VOD. But if any Ox members see this film and want to talk about it, let me know. I'd love to do a discussion with you guys. But I mean, this movie is like James Bond meets Inception meets like Interstellar. It's like just a fantastic film. And we saw it last night with Alfred's 39th birthday party. So it was like a private screening, and it was pretty cool. We saw it at Cinemark, and you know, movie experience is quite different now than pre-COVID. The percentage of the auditorium that can be occupied is different. The concessions are different. There's no refills, obviously, because, you know, you don't want to have a lot of stuff getting behind the screens. A lot of the ticket stuff was digital. There was actually another Showtime that had rented out another theater, and I've heard that some people are doing that now. Just renting out a theater for their friends. Maybe next month, something we can look into for something if it's coming out. But it was a very interesting experience. Like the theaters, they're being sanitized after every showing. The bathrooms were cleaned every 30 minutes and sanitized every 30 minutes. It's I was very impressed by the level that Cinemark was going to make it a safe experience. And in the theater, everyone was sitting pretty far apart. I think that's only like 12 of us in a full auditorium, so it was pretty spacious as far as seating goes. But yeah, big shout out to Alfred for inviting Dean and I. I think Dean couldn't make it last night, but
yeah, we were doing a family.
The movie was inspired by this. It's called the Seder Square, and if you look at the words Seder, Arepo, Tenet, Opera, and Rotas, they can be spelled backwards and forwards, and then up and down. And it's the first like palindrome square thing. And so that's what inspired the Christopher Nolan to make this film, and also some of the different character names and locations in this film. It's a really, really impressive film. Like the fact that someone could be that creative to screenplay a movie like this. I mean, it's difficult to explain this, like because Victoria doesn't care about spoilers, so we're talking about it last night, and it was hard for me to even explain it. So I can't imagine how difficult it would have been to like have this idea and flesh it out to be this film. But I highly recommend it. I give it like a 8.5 out of 10 on the first viewing, but I think it'd be much higher on a second viewing. It's a really good film. And Dean, our boy Arpats can act.
Yeah, it's funny because I've seen just about every trailer of this movie, and it wasn't until the last few that I was like, "Oh, damn, Robert Pattinson's in this movie." They almost don't market it with him in the movie.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm really hoping Watto Scrapyard gives us a John David Washington head sculpt.
Well, you got to pay for it, man.
If the fans want it, maybe a bunch of people can. I mean, he makes head sculpts, on his own.
Yeah.
So if there's enough of a market, I think it'd be cool because all you really need is a suit and a pistol, and I think you can make a really good protagonist.
What's his name?
The protagonist.
That's his name. They're like,
well, that's not his name. No, like he never gives his name in the movie.
Oh.
And so it's sort of like in Drive, like Gosling is just the driver.
Yeah.
And in one scene, this lady mentions like you're just the protagonist. Like you think you're the protagonist, but you're just one of many. And like that's where he gets his credited name as the protagonist.
Wow.
Dean, let's talk Joy of Hobbing now. Many moons ago, this was about 2 years ago, I think. I had an idea to write a book, right? And I don't know if I don't think that you yourself, Dean, trolled the idea, but I think a lot of people in our circle trolled the idea of me writing a book. Remember, I had the idea for like a pocket guide for 6-scale collectors of like tips and tricks that everyone should know.
Yeah.
And I just didn't feel like the other members of the team were behind me on this one, on the last one. But this one I feel very strongly about, right? So I'm going to be writing a book, and I quit like after like 2 weeks into it. Like I just wasn't getting any support. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. But I feel strongly about this, Dean. I showed you the rough draft of chapter 1, and you thought it was decent, right? You thought it was pretty good. Of Collecting Weekly, the early years. And I'm working on it. The book is like, it's all in here, Dean. And I just got to get it onto paper, right?
Well,
but it's
your computer.
Wait, what?
You need to get it onto your computer.
Yes, digital paper. And it's gonna go from, the book is gonna go from, it's not gonna be like a huge book by any means, but it's gonna go from Dean, Rayner, and myself meeting for the first time to episode 100 of the podcast. This is talking about some ups we had, some downs we had, everything in between. And I'm really excited about it, Dean. And I really appreciated that you seemed to enjoy the first chapter. I mean, do you want to talk about it a little bit? No? All right. Mario says a 10 to 15 minutes Tenet concert scene shown at the front of Rise of Skywalker back in December looked so good.
My showing didn't show
Yeah, mine just showed an awful movie for 2 hours. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, no, I like TROS. Actually, just
so dude, the more I sit on it, the more I can't stand it.
The bidet or the TROS.
The Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, yeah, the first chapter it's fun. It's cute. It's like our origin story.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm very excited. I'm hoping I get some support from you guys this go around.
I think maybe if we had like, I don't know, like 10,000 listeners, it'd be different. But it seems a little early, but I like it.
Yeah, but I want to do it now while it's still fresh in my mind.
That's true. You don't want it too long.
Yeah, I don't want to wait like another 2 years because that's when the second book is gonna come out.
Okay, episode 100 to whatever the fuck we're on.
Episode 100 to 200.
Episode 100 to the end of the show.
Episode 100.
The collapse.
No, that's the third book.
Oh, okay.
The rise of. Oh man. Eric says Dean said it's cute. Eric says I'm hoping I get support. Meanwhile, I'm sure nobody in the chat besides Dean's seen a word of this book. I needed to show Dean first because if Dean doesn't like it, there's no point to show you guys, right? Like
that's not true.
You're the main character in the book, other than me.
Right.
Like it's about, of course, like there's all the hosts are going to be in the book to that point, right? But Jesse's going to be there. In fact, I will go through. I'll read some rough draft chapter names. Okay, so let me pull this up real quick. But I'm pretty excited. So of course we have chapter 1, which was called The Beginning. And then it's going to go into 1-6 San Antonio, which is the group that we started many moons ago. The Idea, first iteration, Hangouts, second iteration, third iteration, episodes 1 through 4. And those were when I was doing it by myself. Episodes 5 through 13, Sutton, the 2018 CW Awards, the group auxiliary, new hosts. I'm working on a chapter name for this one, so we'll skip that one. The Investment, episode 25, The End of a Spark. Episode 49, The Studio, Small Talk, OFAC. 2, Collecting Weekly Live, XLR Upgrade, 2019 CW Awards, and then episode 100.
What is The End of a Spark?
That was when Jessa left us.
Oh, no.
And
was it really that soon? What episode was that?
So it was after episode 25. I think he left her on episode 40.
Oh, okay. For some reason, you said episode 25, and then the next thing was The End of a Spark, and I was like, damn, did he really only...
No, I'm sorry. It was episode 25, and then new chapter, The End of a Spark. But around that time, like between episode 25 and 49, it was like kind of dwindling where, I mean, there was a point where every week we had like 6 hosts, right?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like slowly became just, you, me, and Manny, and then you and me, and then back up to you, me, and Manny, and then it just kind of sinusoidal progression.
Chapter 7 seemed gay.
Oh, dude.
Which
actually, yeah, which one? And there's more chapters we got to fill in, and there'll be some interviews that people will maybe have to give. But Eric says chapter 2, Not Like This. Eddie says chapter X, the BH. Love it, guys. So it'll be, I don't know how we're going to release the book. I think it might be a Patreon thing. We'll release a chapter every now and again and maybe make a few printed copies, but it'll be good, man. It'll be good. Mario says chapter 11, the bidet. It's that time to thank the people that keep our doors open, keep food on our table. Not really, but they help out. They really help the show. They just got Pete a brand new setup for his recording of OFAC.
Nice.
Give these boys and gals some shout outs, Dean.
Yeah, Ben Porter, Griffin Campbell, Sean Fear, Ian Seavey, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Kratt, Jason Nelson, Big Old Fern, King Zach, Caesar Marquin, Eric Ruiz, Mario Cortez, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yancey, Scott Bradley, Jesse Contreras, and the Stanleys.
What a bunch of angels. Yeah. Look at this. I'm getting roasted in the chat for this book. I take the book back. I quit the show. No book. We're doing no book this year, Dean.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
You haven't quit the show in a while.
I know. I didn't quit it all last week, and it was bothering me. We have OFAC and Small Talk stickers. I think the Small Talk stickers get delivered tomorrow, so everyone should have their Patreon packages sent probably by the 10th or the 11th of this month. So
Yeah.
a few days later than normal, but everything will be sent out. We're also doing an I Quit the Show sticker for the top tier, which is this lovely sticker here that you see on the mic stand. But yeah, we have a great Patreon system. Starts at $5 for the stickers, $15 for the certificate of crispness, free sculpt painted by Darkside Customs 1 time per year, and assistance with figure fixes by me. And yeah, of course, you get the stickers as well. We're sending out our first package to Ian sometime this month. I need to box everything up, inspect it, label it, and yeah. So if you're waiting to send me a package, like, you have like less than a week to ship it to me, because probably by the end of this month we're going to send out that package. We have a mailing address for fan mail if you guys want to send us something. Collecting Weekly, 5886 Dezavala Road, Suite 102, box number 292, San Antonio, Texas 78249, and we can open up some stuff on the show. I think it'd be a fun thing. Eddie says Chapter 13, Ruthless Dean Strikes Back. That's for book 2, guys. Join us on Facebook at Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. It's a fun group. Dean, we're almost at 300 members there, and Collecting Weekly Auxiliary is how you can join our exclusive bidet giveaway that Dean should have posted about 20 minutes ago.
I haven't done it.
Well, I'm just saying, man, I'm tasking you with this very important.
Yeah, but I told you, like, I wasn't gonna do it. So
all right. Okay. So that's on Dean's plate. 126 bidet giveaway. If Dean gets the post up, if not,
I won't.
I'm just gonna buy myself a second bidet. So anyways, we have some great shows on our network. We have Oxyon, as Damien calls it. That is going live not this Saturday, but next Saturday, the 19th at 10 o'clock. We're also doing Collecting Weekly Live every Tuesday at 8:30. Collecting Rarities, they'll be on, I think it's like the 25th of this month. It's in a few weeks. Small Talk, they're off this week, and their episode is posting on Thursday. We do hope to have some Joy of Hobbying content soon if Dean comes over for that body swap with his figure and mine, or worst case, I'll just shoot mine by myself. OFAC is going live this Thursday. I believe it's at 2:30. Collecting Comics should be recording this weekend for release on Monday. After Dark, I think we're doing it on Wednesday, Dean, tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then Creeps Are Us we recorded last weekend, and that should be hitting the feed sometime.
Wait, no, isn't OFAC is recording on Thursday, aren't they?
Wait, what?
OFAC is recording Thursday, right? Because last week was
Yes.
Small Talk. So we could do Thursday night.
If you'd like, we could. Yes.
Or if you really want to. Oh, Eric said he was off Wednesday, right?
Yeah, we'll post on Ox when the next After Dark is. It'll either be Wednesday or Thursday. And then Creeps did record last week, and that should be posting up hopefully sometime soon. Other shout outs, friends of the show, our friends over at Six Gun Scavengers, Brian, Chris, and TC. Bunch of wonderful guys. Put on a great show. They go live every other week. Optical 20, great guy, does a lot of reviews. Inspired me, Dean, to finally go back and track down the Mag Tent. And that's going to be our movie next week, Dean. Days of Future Past X-Men, streaming on Disney Plus. That is our movie review for next week.
No, you got 3 weeks.
No. You were the one that pushed for the next movie.
You wanted to do all 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I wanted to do 1 and then skip a week, and then 2 and then skip a week, and then 3, and then you said just do all 3.
My next 2 weeks.
What is this bullshit that you're saying?
Okay,
fine. What's the movie then?
Days of Future Past.
Oh, okay. I'm down. Days of Future Past it is, Dean. Optical 20, great guy, friend of the show. Rogue 16, we had Matt Mangum on last week, and we had a good old time, Dean. We had a good old time on After Dark. Do you have any shout outs you want to give? Shout out to Kev. What a guy, man.
Kev's Matrix, man. What a guy.
Reverse shout out to everyone giving me trolling chapter names. You will not be getting a signed copy of the book.
Also, reverse shout out to everyone who attacked us for pointing out that Baby Yoda is not good.
Reverse shout out to the guy that wouldn't take my advice on Spider-Man today.
Dude, that shit was funny. Talking about that, the screenshots.
I don't want to roast this kid too bad. He's a good kid, I assume, but I was getting so frustrated. I was like, my guy, don't question me. I'm just telling you.
Yeah,
I don't know the why. I just know the how.
And I got after Fern about this the other day in the chat. I don't know if you remember, but they ask you a question, right? They want to know what you have to say.
Yes.
You tell them, but it's not what they want to hear, so they immediately start fighting you. It's like, well, why did you ask? If you don't like what I'm saying, then don't ask me. It's like this kid was like, "Hey, what are problems with this suit on this figure?" And you're like, "Well, don't use the clamp because it'll tear into the suit." And the kid's like, "Well, then, like, why did they give it to you if it's just going to destroy it?" I don't know, man. It's
it's $1 million question because they want you to buy another one, right? You know, with those kind of things, it's like, you know, you could look back at Hot Toys history and there's any number of figures that are damaged by accessories in the box, right? You have Vision, Superman, Batman. Actually, not Batman, because Batman has that weird crotch cradle. But Vision, Superman, the Spider-Man figures, all damaged by the pressure of the clamp holding on to the figure itself. Deadpool first release from Hong Kong, the wrist of the suit would get torn to shreds by the hands being put on it. Princess Leia, the helmet going on top of the hair, scratches the shit out of that paint. Han Solo Mud Trooper putting the mask over the painted portrait, rubs the paint off on the nose. There's any number of things that are included in most Hot Toys boxes that can damage or may be damaged by normal use. The zipper on Kylo Ren, for example, to change the lightsaber out. Doing that, there's a good chance that zipper is not going to close up right. And so I just was getting so frustrated today. Like, I'm trying to give this kid advice, and I don't think he was listening. So
yeah, because it's like it's not what he wants to hear. He wants you to tell him like, "Oh, don't worry, everything will be fine and dandy." And guess what? He's gonna get somebody that tells him that, and when he uses the fucking figure stand on his figure, it's gonna get ruined. And guess what he's gonna be doing? Fucking crying on Facebook. Why didn't anybody tell me? We did. You didn't want to hear it. I'm sorry I'm so upset, but it's like it pisses me off when people ask you for advice and then they fight you every step of the way. It's like, you know what? Just
like
do it.
My guy, I've owned like 9 Spider-Man Hot Toys figures. Like, I think I would know more than someone who's never owned one.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I want to buy this figure. What should I get? Like, oh, we'll get this one because of this reason. Yeah, but this one, okay, then buy that one. Oh, yeah, but then this figure, okay, then buy that one. Like, what do you want me to tell you? I've already told you what I think and given you my expertise, and you're not accepting it. You know, fucking put up Grandsman gears right now. It's just like, that was fast.
That's what I do.
It just pisses me off, dude. It's like
I get paid the big bucks.
It's like, do you want the answer or don't you? Because I'm giving it to you as someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm not guessing. If I had to guess, I wouldn't answer your question.
Yeah.
I've either owned that figure or I've dealt with the problem similar.
Yeah.
There's my answer. If you don't like it, then just move on. Don't try to get me to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah. I don't know, man. If you're watching this show live, guys, give us that thumbs up, please. It's really nice to see a bunch of thumbs up at the end of the video. But Dean, I got some editing to do, and
Look, Dan said it's only fair I get 3 weeks in a row.
That's fine. You picked Days of Future Past as your first movie, so I mean, next week for sure. But you know,
it's like 4 weeks in a row.
Anyways, guys, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.